Father, we just want to say thank you for this day. For this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice in it. I thank you, Lord, for everyone that's here. And thank you for our host who's opened the door so that we can invite everybody to come and say thank you to all of our veterans, our first responders, and their families.
Well, everyone, I just want to welcome you. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Jackie Garcia. I am the wife of Reverend Danny Garcia. And we are here to kick off an event for Honor Walk 2020. And we're here to thank veterans, which we know we have, first responders, thank you so much for being here, and their families. So I like to do something before I start. First of all, who is a veteran? Please keep your hand up. Okay. Who is a first responder? Okay, who is a family member of a veteran or a first responder? Okay, and who knows somebody close who is either a veteran, first responder, or their family? So everybody. And so this is why we're doing this, is because we believe that our nation needs to stand for you, and we're here to honor you. So for those of you who don't know, Congressman Posey, he is Florida's 8th Congressional District, which includes Brevard, Indian River, and a small portion of Orange County. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2008. He's currently serving his 5th term. He serves on the Financial Services Committee, the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology, as well as the House Republican Study Committee. Before being in Congress, he was 8 years of the Florida State Senate. He also served in the Florida House of Representatives. Even before that, he was 10 years a member of Rockledge City Council. So he has been a public servant, including working for Kennedy Space Center. He is a graduate of COCO. He lives in Rockledge with his wife, Katie, of 45 years. They have 2 grown daughters, Pam and Kathy, and 3 grandchildren. And finally, which is one of the reasons why I think Mike may have a little relationship here, is he is also an accomplished stock car racer. So, sir, I'll give the floor to you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. To honor you, Danny, and what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Jackie, we know it's always teamwork.
Yes, sir.
You know, but GI Tax, America salutes you and Global Walk for your efforts to recognize our veterans and our first responders, so they would just have some idea of the sacrifice that every man and every woman who donned the uniform of the American Armed Services put at risk for the freedom that every single one of us, including me, worst of all, take for granted too often today. So on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank you again for what you're doing, Danny. And the Florida League of Cities had an award called the Quality Floridian Award that they gave out. And I really valued getting it more than a lot of the big awards that are better known awards. Because of what it represented, and it represented somebody who really stepped out and did something for their community, sometimes against all odds, sometimes against lobbyists, you know, and actually they stopped giving the award out about 5 years ago. I guess they ran out of good guys, but I thought it was a cool name, and so I try and recognize people that go the extra mile, do the extra thing for their community and their country, and you fit that mold. So I'd like to, if I can put this on you, and it'd be okay with your uniform? It won't conflict or anything? Bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so I have to dry my tears as my husband gets recognized. Thank you, sir. So next I would like to introduce the host and who owns this establishment, and that is Mr. Glenn Sandler of GI Tax. Glenn is a leading expert in accounting and business management, and he has used his knowledge, he's also an instructor at the college here, to create a company that's changing the way that America feels about filing their taxes. And he has a personal goal because he really does believe in veterans, military, and first responders. And for every paid tax return, he gives $5. He gives $5 to federal and local charities. He's married to Lauren and has 2 adult children, and he has a wonderful team. And he's really helped us a lot in our taxes, so we consider Glenn not only a patriot but a close friend.
Thank you.
So Glenn, over to you.
Welcome to GI Tax. I started this business in 2012 because I wanted to be able to make a difference before I leave the planet. We give $5 from every tax return to support military charities. Last year we did about 4,000 tax returns, which is $20,000. You see, we have 5,000 going to Danny's charity today, and then a few other ones, including the museum up in Merritt Island. We're starting to sell franchises, and our ultimate goal is to do about 1 million tax returns nationwide. If we do, we can give between $5 and $10 million a year to support military and first responder charities. If you see, we bleed red, white, and blue. Everything we do is about America. Everything I do right now pretty much is to support, first responders and veterans and anybody else that fights for our freedoms. We got a crazy world going on right now. If we can make any kind of change and help the country any way we can, that's what we live for, basically. Emily's with me. Emily pretty much put this thing on with Jackie. I appreciate you guys showing up. This isn't clean because you guys are here today. This is the way we look every single day, right? Every day in business it should be grand opening. But if there's any way we can help you guys out, we'll do it. If you guys want to come in, we can help you with taxes. But again, we're here because we want to help America, and that's what it's all about. And I appreciate you all being here. If you can let people know about what we are, the more we can be successful, the better off we can help the country. And that's what it's all about right now. I mean, you guys all know what's going on right now. We want to be able to help. So again, I appreciate it. Bill Posey's here, okay? It's an honor to have you here today. There's Mike Wallace is here. I'm horrible with names, but everybody that's here is just as important as anybody else. Okay, we're all Americans, and we need to do whatever we possibly can to help the country. So any way I can help, I'm here.
The person I would like to introduce, who is quite a gentleman himself. So Mike, give me a few seconds here. Mike Wallace is a member of the famous Wallace racing family, and the whole family was born to race.
MarketScan is a technology-based company based out of Carmel, California, that got together with Danny and Jackie and supportive of their effort and everything they're doing, and help provide them with a nice van to travel the country and tell the world what's going on. And we're proud to be a supporter of that. That is on our race car. That's what it looks like. You'll see some postcards up here. You're all welcome to as many as you like. But first and foremost, out of everything that we're doing, we get to play with race cars, right? I mean, that's what we get to do when we're having fun.
Luckiest guy in the world.
But to do that, we got to thank everybody that's standing here in front of us. From everyone in the military, every frontliner, every police officer, every journalist, everybody involved, because it takes a whole group and a whole team. And the word thank you doesn't get said enough, and it normally isn't meant enough. So just kind of in a quick closing, other than Glenn, thank you for having me here as a guest. I wish you nothing but the best of GI Tax, and hopefully franchises pop up all around the country. And we can maybe even get that name on a race car someday too.
If I want to, yeah.
And but thank you, everyone. Danny, we met just literally within the last month or so, month and a half. And Jackie, thank you. You've been wonderful people. Danny's Walk finalizes in October 29th, I believe it is, in Nashville, Tennessee, with a concert that is to tape. Because of the COVID thing, we don't know if any fans will be there or be open, but it will tape for a television event. So everybody support it.
Has been Reverend Danny Garcia, U.S. Marine Corps. Danny is a reverend. He's a pastor. He's an ordained minister, evangelist. So he loves God, he loves Jesus, but he loves his Marine Corps. And for those of us in uniform, once we're in uniform, we never ever really leave that love that we have for our uniform service. So for those of you who don't know, Danny has walked 26,000 miles, or an equivalent of 52 million steps on 6 continents over the last 23 years. But we decided to just stop counting because it's really kind of hard. We don't have an odometer with us. And now what we do is we do ceremonial walks, which Barna Walk is a ceremonial walk, because what is important, as you guys have as already mentioned, it's meeting the people. It's talking with the people. It's relationships. It's praying with people. And so that is what my husband, Danny Garcia, is all about. So Danny, I turn over to you, sir.
Thank you. Honey, Colonel. First of all, I want to acknowledge and introduce my wife, Jackie Garcia, Jacqueline. Jackie is a retired Lieutenant Colonel in the Air Force. She's also a graduate of the Air Force Academy. She's a very smart lady, smarter than I am. Well, she married me. But we've been together for a number of years. We've been through all kinds of stuff. She puts up with me. I don't know, she deserves a Purple Heart because I'm way out there on the point. And the Lord told me, go to all the nations and preach the gospel and set the captives free. And I took him literally at that because I really didn't know God and really the Lord until I was in my 30s. I'm 75 now, and I'm still walking. I've walked across the United States, and I've walked in 6 different continents. I've been abducted by Palestinians in a place called Rafah after meeting Arafat just prior to that in Gaza. I've walked across the Malamore, Australia, from Perth to Sydney, San Francisco to New York with U.S. Marine Humvees following me and police officers. I am a former law enforcement officer in San Diego. I worked a number of different things, including federal corrections, and worked and trained with SWAT and a number of people in San Diego. So my life has been very full because of God and because of you. So I pray all the time. That's the key. That's the foundation, is prayer. There are 3 Marines that need help, that are in trouble. They had 7 deployments in Iraq and also in Afghanistan. All of them, including myself, have been dealing with PTSD. All of us have seen things that sometimes you don't sleep at night and you wake up and your bed is soaking wet. I go through that. But I thank God that He gives me some strong legs and feet and a passion because I love you. You understand that? I don't know you, some of you, but I love you. And I'm willing to put my life on the line every day for you like they do.
Not only a mind and training, but a heart that is centered on servanthood. And it's important for me to acknowledge them because they are the ones that respond to calls while we're sleeping, including myself. Congressman, you said earlier things about other countries and bars in other countries. And let me share with you my reference because it rings true. So I'm from Colombia. I was born and raised there in Park. And so my house had every window and every door barred. And I know what it's like to live under martial law. I know what it's like to look out my window and see tanks rolling down the street because of corruption in government and corruption in policing. We do not have that in this country, and we do not have that in this community.
Crazy.
Why? Because of them, and because of you. So I thank you all. I thank you, sir, ma'am, your family, for your commitment to this community. Our folks need to see that. We don't need medals. We don't need ceremonies. We need acknowledgement that what we do is pure. And they show it every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is just the beginning. We will definitely support your organization again, and hopefully it's millions in the future. So. There you go.
Everybody, can I say thank you?
Everybody started lighting up suddenly
Yes.
about 3 years ago.
This is a lot of money,
Friend of ours owns 3
and
franchises.
it all will go to America Salutes You, and America Salutes You then will distribute it to the charities that they're working with, which are veterans, first responders and their families, people that are also guys and women that are dealing with PTSD. They've been doing this for about 15 years. They're also going to end, my walk ends at a concert in Nashville, Tennessee, and it'll be televised all over the world. It'll be virtual, but it'll be televised all over the world. And there'll be another one in DC prior to that, October 17th. So we've got a lot of walking to do. We've got a lot of people to reach. We've got a lot of funds to raise. People ask me, well, Danny, how much can you get from this yourself? And I said, me nada, zero, nada, because
You can have the big check.
I like this.
Yeah.
I can put this on my wall. I look at it, and we're going to ask people out there to match it out there because, you know, the more you give, the more you receive. That's why he's so successful, because he's a giver. So thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
God bless you,
Thank you.
truly. Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and supporting everybody this evening.